What's up, everybody? Let's see this mic just a little bit closer. Sorry if you can hear the dog barking in the background. He's going insane. Dude obviously can't read an environment, but that's okay. Hi, everybody. Welcome to WIP Wednesday Live. Tonight is episode 50. I'm trying out a new angle here. So if you see me looking down, it's because I'm used to looking at my camera a certain way. But yeah. If you guys are here hanging out live, please say hello. Thank you guys for stopping by on this lovely Wednesday evening. If you haven't been here before, this is just it's a weekly live stream where I customize live, talk to other people in the hobby, and get to just kind of talk shop. So if you haven't already, hit that like button. If you haven't already, please subscribe. If you're here live, say hello. If you're watching on the replay, leave a comment. And yeah. Had a day today, so yeah, it's kind of been a heavy day. But let's see here. Last week I came back after being gone for 2 months, and I had my wife on as a guest just for fun, and it was really fun. We had a really good time chatting. I feel like the chat was pretty engaging as well, which was great. And we just kind of talked about nerd stuff, video games. We talked about my collection. But yeah, definitely something a little bit more, like a little different compared to what I normally do. So definitely recommend checking the replay on that. It was really fun. So she hung around for about an hour, and then she bounced and I did some painting. So which is what's on deck tonight. I have some Punisher stuff to paint. I've been working on this Punisher 2099. So yeah, I got the base all done. I'm just kind of doing the red touch-ups or the red highlights, and then I have to do the skull, which I'm dreading. So we'll see how that goes. And then I have a bunch of Paul Sun Young Lee heads. I have 10. It's a lot. I don't know if any of you have ever painted 10 heads in a row all at once, but it's not that fun. So I'm going to start that. There's no way I'm going to finish that tonight. It's a big job, but we're going to kind of we're going to go kind of jump between both things. So we'll do a round on the Paul stuff, and then we'll move over to Punisher and do some more on the reds. But the goal tonight is to at least get the beard and hair on all the Paul figures at least most of the way done, and also get some I'd like to get the red on Punisher done, which I think is very achievable. Maybe start plotting out the white, but I don't want to get too ahead of myself. So yeah, before we get into anything else, I didn't do my usual plug. Quick plug for Moose Milk and I. So on Saturday nights, every Saturday night at 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, myself and my buddy Ryan, aka Moose Milk Media, we do a little podcast over on his YouTube channel. We talk about whatever's relevant in the nerd culture, pop culture realm. Maybe not pop culture, but because there's no shows on right now, we've been kind of filling the gaps with random things. Last week we talked Evil Dead Rise spoiler cast, which was pretty fun. But I'm super excited for this week. So I traditionally have been a huge South Park fan my whole life. And I haven't done a big rewatch on South Park because it's not really readily available for streaming and stuff here in Canada on the streaming services I use. So I haven't revisited South Park in honestly, it's probably been a decade. But I know that I've seen them all so many times. It's one of my first binge shows. So anyways, I've been doing a rewatch from season 5 to I'm gonna go to season 12. I'm right now about halfway through season 7. But yeah, basically on Saturday we're gonna be talking our favorite 5 South Park episodes. It's gonna be super hard to pick 5. I've already struggling to. I'm just beginning, and I can't. There's so many fucking good ones. So we're gonna be talking South Park. So if you're into that kind of stuff, come and hang out with us over on his channel on Saturday night, 10 p.m. Actually, I think this week is Sunday. I'll be posting it in my stories, but I'm pretty sure this week is Sunday because I think he had an engagement Saturday. So But yeah, come hang out with us if you're into funny shit, or if you're looking to get into something new. We'll be able to make it easy for you. So, okay. I'm gonna just say hello to everyone who's here. Marcus, hey man, what's up? Thank you for being here. Appreciate you as always. Charlie is here. Hey man, how's it going? Nice to see you. Quebec Nairama is a name I haven't seen in a bit. How's it going, man? How are you? Didn't you get your like Instagram hacked or something like that? Or am I misremembering that? Hopefully that I am. Hopefully I'm not remembering that accurately. And Darth Gutierrez is here. Hey man, how are you? Thank you for being here as always. Yeah, so I have a lot to paint. So I'm just gonna start painting. I'm gonna keep this little box in the corner here so you can see how cool I look with my nerdy glasses. But these are a standard now. So yeah, so I think what I'm gonna start with is this Paul. I'm working on this Paul figure. Let me see if I can get a little bit better lighting over here. There we go. So yeah, been working on this Paul figure. Stop moving their camera. Go and give me a headache. All right, sorry, I just want to. My camera angle is kind of bugging me a little bit. I have to. I keep my camera on top of my ring light, so it like kind of like moves it. Let's see here. There we go. That's better. There. All right. Good stuff. So yeah. Oh man, I don't like that like odd angle. Sorry guys, I hate to do this while I'm live. That's a drag. But I'm not a professional. There we go. So yeah, so that's the Paul head I'm working on. So what I usually start on is I usually start with the beard and then I go into the hair. And what I usually do when I'm doing like a lot of stuff all at once is I kind of just find a pattern. So like if I know I'm going to have to do this repetitively, I find a way that it like kind of works. So I usually start on this side of the sideburn. I go down and then I do the goatee and then around, and then I'll go under here and tidy all that up. And then I'll do the hair after that. So the skin tones are done. I'm pretty happy with how they look. They're pretty, I think I did a good job. I'm at the point where I feel like I've gotten Paul's skin tone down relatively well. I've done, probably about 16 of 17, more than that. Probably about 20 of these heads at this point. So, I'm pretty happy with the overall look I'm getting from these, which is great. Hell yeah. So yeah, so I have 9 of these to do. And then Punisher, I can kind of just quickly show you where I'm at with Punisher. So I'm quite liking how Punisher's looking. There's a real subtle like blue shading to this. I don't know how much you can get that on the camera. I guess I think you can see it a little bit, but so I did it in high gloss black, and then I did like a black, like a blue shading, and then now I'm going in and doing the shoulder pads, and then on the legs I'm doing the knee pads, or not, yeah, the knee pads and the belts for the guns holsters. There it is. So yeah, so I have to do more. I've only done 1 coat of red so far, so I need to do more of that. And then I still have to do the white. I did do the buttons on his belt here. So I don't know how well you can see the buttons, but yeah, it's not working. And then yeah, this is the head I've done up for him. So this was a Vulcan head. I got his weapons. I got his arm. Here's his arms. So yeah, I got. Oops. So I feel like I need more like light. I wonder if I get some. Let me just see if I get some overhead light here. Helps. I never keep the overhead lights on, but maybe it would help. I usually have the lights behind me on, but it's just been too hot. So yeah, I'm really liking how this looks. So yeah, so we're gonna start with those Paul parts though. Let's just see what's going on here. What's up, Neil? How's it going, man? Episode 50. Is there gonna be fireworks or something? Custom giveaway? Yeah, I don't think so. Free pizza. That'd be great. I'd love that. Let's have pizza. IG security is trash. That sucks, man. What a fucking drag. I wouldn't be down for that. Happy episode 50. Thought you were celebrating nude. Oh, I was gonna say who's to say I'm not, but you can see me. Damn. Failed. What's up, Brian? Neil says you should alt head where he has the metal cyborg jawline. See, the thing is, that's the hard thing with the 2099 stuff. I'm not super familiar with the stories, if I'm really being honest. I know them from like seeing them in Wizard magazine or the cards, but yeah, that's about it. So let's see how much I can do without using my cool glasses. Probably not a lot. I'll probably have to. Okay, so I'm using this gray. It's called Iron Hall Gray. It's P3 paints, my favorite. The reason I'm not watering it down too much is because this is an old pot of paint, and I have watered it down quite a many times. So it's at the point now where I don't really have to water it down anymore. Once you use paints for airbrushes, you kind of have to always water them down, and I hate mixing them. So like when I water them down, so I use like a product to water them, to thin them out. So yeah, so as you kind of just like, put your leftovers back into the pot, it kind of waters down everything else. So I get to a point where you don't really even have to do it anymore. You can kind of just pour it right into the airbrush, which works good. And it works nice for when you're detailing because you don't have to worry about watering it down all the time. You get a more consistent application. The disadvantage is like if you ever need like a really like, a fine like solid line, like if you're painting something, like say you're doing a detail or like an eyebrow or something like that, it's nice to like not have to like go over it like a bunch of times because like you want it to be fine and clean. So usually like for key colors like a couple browns and black and white, usually I have like a bottle that like I don't water down, that I just always keep. So that way it's kind of always like, good, right? And then I have backup if I need it for, what's it called? For like if I run out. So there you go. Okay, so before I like fill all this in, I just want to make sure that I actually have the hairline. You can't even see, you guys can't even see what I'm doing. I need to figure out this camera situation better, I feel like you guys are missing out on all this wonderful fucking goodness that we got going on over here. I still do dip my brush in the water every, few minutes here, or maybe more than that, just so that way the tip doesn't go hard. Let's see. I feel like maybe I can get a little closer to the desk too. I think you guys can see better. There we go. Move this a bit over here. Oh. Oh, Ryan, you're so funny. Ryan says, I can't stay. I just wanted to see those nips. Shame. Maybe next time. It cooled down a little bit here, so it's good. Krakow Mafia. Hey, man. How's it going? Thanks for stopping by. I think I saw you on Collector Express's video that I was on last week. If anybody hasn't checked that out, it was very fun. I was saying to Ryan on Moose Milk on our podcast on Saturday, like, I love doing shows, especially shows that like I watch, right? And so like I've been doing like Between Two Sentinels with Matchu and Jay Shaw. I did Fallen Fett with Ernie. I've done Toy Talk. So I've been doing a lot. And then with Collector Express, he asked me if I would come on to do a showcase, and I was like, yeah. And like the thing that's cool about doing something like that with a customizer versus like somebody who just like it appreciates customizing is like the depth of questions that you get are a lot. it allows you to kind of like talk to the hobby a lot more than like just like, you know, kind of vaguely going over what you do, which you know, I like being able to talk about the hobby in any capacity. So going on the non-customizer shows and doing that is like, I love it. It's tons of fun. And I feel like I'm kind of part of it because I'm always watching it anyways. So, you know, I love it. Don't get me wrong. But getting to talk to Collector Express and Hulk Smash Customs on his channel for that customizer showcase was awesome, because I really got to go more in depth on the kind of, you know, customizing side of thing, you know, the more in detail parts rather than just like the surface kind of stuff, you know. It was great. We got to go through a bunch of projects and I kind of got to walk through all of them and, you know, the hardships and the, you know, all that good stuff. Okay, one done. There we go. And again, these don't need to be 100% perfect at this point. They just need to be pretty there, right? Because I'll have to go over again with another coat because this is pretty watered down. So yeah, like I usually do, I'll start on this side. So yeah, so if you haven't seen the show on Collector Express, his channel, it's called Customizer Showcase. It's from last Saturday. And honestly, it was so much fun. I had a great time. And I unfortunately had to kind of cut it short. I mean, it wasn't short. Had been going for like over 2 hours. But yeah, I had to run because something came up with my wife. So all good. But yeah. So if you haven't seen that, go check it out. I think that is where I first saw Crack Cow Mafia. So Darth Gutierrez says, do you like pineapple on your pizza? I do like pineapple on my pizza. Marcus says, I had pizza today, but I want more. Today we had Chinese food. My wife had like a minor like surgery today, and they told her that like she should try to have like salty foods. So she's like, can we get Chinese food? And I was like, yes, of course. Like, you don't have to twist my arm to get Chinese food. Like, I'm on board anytime. So yeah, so we had Chinese food and it was fucking tasty. But pizza sounds great too. You don't want the tip to be hard? News to me. I know what you're saying, but this heart is right for comedy. So, hey, Sean, what's up, man? How's it going? Thanks for swinging by. I'm painting Carson Teva heads. I got 10 of them, 9 of them. Whip It Crew. There it is. So yes, if you guys haven't checked out his channel, I recommend it. Aside from having live streams like this and interviews with people in the community, he's just a wealth of knowledge. As an experienced customizer, I've learned a lot from watching him. So I definitely recommend it if you haven't, especially if you're like into customizing and if you have questions about customizing. He's very in depth, and it's worth the watch. All right. Okay, so yeah, this isn't going to be the most fun part, guys. Sorry, you're going to have to bear with me while I paint some Paul heads. But once I'm done this, that Punisher's fucking coming for us. I can't wait to get those reds on that Punisher. I'm loving how that Punisher works. I actually said to Nick yesterday, I was like, my goal is to finish Punisher by like Saturday, so like I can shoot pictures on Sunday, because I have a ton of stuff I need to shoot pictures for. I have my Summer Swap figure that's a secret. I have my secret figure for Draven Arts that I can't wait to share. It'll be really good. It's funny. I've shared with a few people, but I have to take pictures of my WWE figures I made. So my Owen, my Rockers, my Owen, my Rockers, and my Brutus Beefcake I still haven't taken pictures of. I haven't taken pictures of Bane, and I'm hoping to take pictures of this Punisher too. So I'll have a couple nights of taking pictures ahead of me, which sucks because I don't like it. But made a little mistake, a little boo-boo. I'll have to fix that. but I'll do it later. Like I said, if for now, just getting the paint there mostly, and I can do touch-ups at the end. I usually slop when I'm dry brushing anyways, so it's not the end of the world. I have a couple guests coming up soon, actually, for this. I'm gonna have to take a week off in June, the first Wednesday in June, because I am in Anaheim for work, so I won't be able to do a live stream. But the week I get back, I'm currently planning on having Kyle Wadiga from Super 7. He is an enabler, and he's the lead designer on the Turtles line and the Power Rangers line. So yeah, I just figured it'd be cool to have him come on and chat. He recently sent me a power coin from the red Tyrannosaurus Zord in the mail because I told him I wanted to buy it just for the coin. So yeah, very nice guy, and I just, we chat here and there through on Instagram, so I thought it would be fun to just have him come on. I've never, I don't know, probably just keep it. I don't want to have it become like a Q&A thing or anything unless he really wants that, but yeah, so that will be June 14th, I think it is. And then who else do I have? I also have my buddy Sean, Enemy Zero on YouTube and Instagram. He does like reviews and stuff. He was the guy. He's been in here chatting a bit in the past. But he's going to come on, I think on the 21st. I might be getting my dates wrong, and I could just look over if I want, because it's written down on the document that's open, but I'm painting, so I'll confirm later. But until I go to Anaheim, so next week I'll have one more show, and then I'll be here next week solo again. So I mean, I guess technically last week I wasn't solo. Kate came on, so we weren't customizing, but it's good. All right, so yeah, this is good. Just gotta get that connecting line. It's good. I did a second one, and then I got to go under the chin and stuff because I was pretty chintzy with it. So nice. But yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with this Punisher. It is looking great. I'm very happy with it. So what has everybody else been up to? Everybody see, what did we get new reveals this week? We got that Alpha Flight. No, not Alpha Flight. West Coast Avengers box set. That looks okay. I'm surprised that there's not more people writing about having 3 repacked figures just so you can get one mainly desirable figure in Hank Pym. That new torso looks good though. That new, like, it almost looks, somebody mentioned like, oh, it looks like they're gonna do a Professor. Oh, I think it was Collector Express. He's like, oh, it looks like Hasbro's gonna do a green jumpsuit Professor Xavier. And I said, yep, that's probably accurate. My only thought is that body is a little tall for Professor Xavier. I kind of think it works out to being like the same size as the Reaper body, which is like, bigger than the Bucky cap, which I would think Bucky cap would be too big for Professor. But I mean, I guess depends if you're going to just put him in a hover chair anyway. Probably doesn't really matter because you won't see him anyway. But yeah, what'd you guys think of that? And then the other one, who is the other one? Oh, Mockingbird is the other one that people are interested in. But I also saw a lot of people pissy about Mockingbird too. So single jointed elbows, which I think a lot of us are not fans of. Yeah. I mean, at this point, a Marvel Legends female figure has to blow my mind for me to buy a single jointed. Like, they need to start giving us, utilizing the parts library and adding to it. But it was cool to see there was that Squadron Supreme one also that was earlier this week. I don't know those characters. But they have like a Sunfire body and they gave it pinless arms and legs. So it seems like they've added to the tooling of that body, which is cool. Which is very cool. Let me see. What's everybody saying? Oh, Sean said those look good. Thanks, man. Appreciate you. Appreciate it. Darth Gutierrez, the gentlemen from the Whip It crew are great, always willing to answer on customizing. Yeah, that's one of the things that I think is the most appealing, right? It's, you know, and we kind of talked about it on that show that I was on with them, was like, you know, when I was a new customizer, I was on the Foosh forums a lot, because at the time they were pretty active and there was a lot of customizers on there, a lot of new customizers on there. And there was a lot of people. There were also a lot of people who wouldn't help, but there were a lot of customizers who would help. And I remember Collector Express's name from Foosh. It's not Collector Express, but I remember like when we kind of started chatting, when I started doing these live streams, he said he had mentioned his screen name from Foosh, and I was like, oh, you've been at this longer than me. Like, you know, I've been doing this for like 8 years. He's probably been doing it for like 10 years at least, because like, you know, when I was on the Foosh trying to get answers, he was not a rookie. Like, he had been doing it. So, yeah. So it's pretty cool. So I think he's always kind of been that person. Like, there's a lot of people, especially on the Foosh in the old days, there were a lot of people who didn't want to share their experience and their knowledge. But he was never that person. He was always willing to share, never afraid to share his practice and share his methods, and, you know, have everyone feel a little bit more comfortable about customizing. So hell yeah. Yeah, Kyle. Yeah, man, I'm excited. So pretty excited he's gonna come on. Darth Gutierrez is Anaheim, California. Yeah, so I don't know California at all. I've only been to Venice. Where is Muscle Beach? That's where I've been in California. That's the only place. I always forget the name of it. But yeah, so I'm going to a food convention, and then we are hoping we might try to go to Disney one night, but I don't know. We'll see. Like, it kind of depends on, like, we have one person who might be joining us too, and if he does, then we might not go. So, like, we might not be able to go. Yeah. But yeah, we were gonna go one night after the convention. So work the convention the day, and then at night go out and hang out, like a Monday night, basically. So I think it's Monday, June 5th, I think, or something like that. 5th, yeah, I think it's 5th. That's when we're supposed to be going. So, Squadron Supreme, Nighthawk, and Blur. There you go. Is Nighthawk like meant to be like that Nighthawk we got from that Thanos wave? Dark Gutierrez says, you planning on getting that 5-pack now? I'm not. No, I am not. I don't actually collect. That's one of the parts of my collection I sold. So I sold off like my comic Avengers, my cosmic comic stuff, because I knew that I was going to be running out of space, and like, I just don't really have attachment to it. You know, I started collecting some of it just because I thought the figures were cool, but now that the attachment's not really there, it's just like, it pains me to buy. And again, at the prices we're paying right now, again, you know, I'm trying to be more mindful with where my money goes. That's all. So I still like what Hasbro's doing, but yeah, that for me, like, even if I wanted it, I don't think I would do it, just because it's you know, if I still had that section in my display, I would only need 3 of the figures. Like, I already have Silver Centurion and Tiger, like, kind of accounted for, right? So I don't think I would pay that for that. I don't think. But I guess it depends, right? Like, I mean, if you did an X-Men wave or an X-Men box set, and it had like one character that I really wanted and a few that like I didn't really need, you know, I probably would, because it's X-Men. And X-Men's much more important to me. So Yeah, I actually get my new doors on I get some new doors. So my exposed shelves will be up to, let's see, I have 14 now, another 4, so 18. Yeah, so that's coming when I get back from California, middle of June. Pretty excited about that. Okay. Cool. Getting there. Number 3. Let's see what else is happening. Oh, hey, D. What's up, man? Oh, everyone go follow Devon Art. D is the man. He just started an Instagram account for all his customs and stuff, which is great. I'll do a share in the next couple days, man. So we try to get those people aware that you've got a dedicated space for that. For anybody who doesn't know, D made that Nightwing for me, which is that Wolverine Batman mix from the Amalgam universe. And I remember when I posted that thing, I got so many likes. So that's what I'll do. I'll do a little share on that, try to get some people over to you there, D. Go follow Devon Arts. I'll post it in the next day. Fucking A. Marcus said people treat their techniques like it's their Krabby Patty secret formula. Like, I do get it to a certain degree, but at the end of the day, it's like, I don't know. I don't really get it, if I'm being honest. I guess I'm just trying to be, I don't know. Like, I get not wanting to like reply to everybody, like, especially if you have like a decent following. Like, I mean, if even if just my personal experience on Instagram with the number of messages I get, I understand not everybody has the time to deal with that. It's a lot. And sometimes it takes me a few days to deal with that, but I don't know. I also just like talking shop, so like it doesn't really bug me. And like, I'm not saying I get asked a million questions about what I do and how I do it. I do get those too, but I just mean in terms of sheer volume of messages I get. It's relatively substantial, I would say. So, and I mean, it's not even at its worst. Like, there was a time when it was like way worse. But it's weird because Instagram has been a challenge for me to get my numbers up. And I ultimately just don't really care. Like, it's not like whether I have a big following, so I don't really care if it's like 30,000 or 29,000. Like, I mean, obviously I'd like it to be more, but I don't care enough that I need to I don't put any effort into it. So, but yeah, lately it's weird because after like literally a year and a half of just being stable and not really going anywhere, it started going up lately, which is weird. So yeah, I don't know, but cool, I guess. Yeah. So I don't know. But yeah, I do think the sets are cool. I don't need them. So, and Marcus, regarding your thing, I just wish people would, I mean, yeah, if anyone has questions, they're more than welcome to just email me. I don't care. Or not email me. Don't email me. That's like work. That feels more like work than a DM. Just DM me. I help. I'd love to make videos, but no, I wouldn't. So there's that. I'm going to catch up here. There's more people here talking. D says, different Nighthawk. This is a more modern one the modern one from Squadron Supreme of America, I think. Gotcha. Okay, cool. 2018, he says. Marcus, these Squadron figures are based on the Heroes Reborn comics from 2021, I think, when they were under Phil Coulson. Oh, I didn't know Phil Coulson was a comic book character. That's fun. Neil says, got my Chode wave. Got my Chode X-Men wave today. What's your favorite figure? Have you opened them yet? I got the pieces I need. I didn't get the whole thing. I'm not collecting Starjammers, so which is weird because it's X-Men, but yeah, I'm not. I don't have a place for it. So yeah, no Starjammers. So I ended up getting Astonishing Cyclops, Astonishing Emma, and Monet and Chamber from Generation X. I'm gonna eventually do chamber on his like on a thicker body, because I don't like that suit body at all. So yeah, that's gonna be happening eventually. I'm gonna wait until we get a few more parts and just do them all at once, because I want to like do some black shading on them. And like the thing is, like they're almost there, I guess. Like I want to do I want to like sculpt the rest of the zipper. Like it's on the upper torso, but it doesn't go down to the bottom torso. So I want to fix that because it's supposed to. So I'll wait until I have like enough to like do it for all of them, and then I'll do it, paint them all, and then that way I get consistency, right? So, but until then, I'll put them in my display as is. So, but the goal will be to, once we get like a male body, I'll do like, if we get like a cinch or a sink or whatever his name is, cinch, I don't know. Once we get him, I'll quickly use one of those bodies for chamber and keep him with like his leather jacket on, but in the proper costume, like the old Toy Biz figure. And then I'll make a skin, and we'll go from there. I already have an Emma. I got one for Secret Santa last year. Oops, I made a slop. But yeah, and then I'll make a Banshee as well. It's pretty easy. I'll just use the existing blue suit Banshee. Give him a beard and some big old chops. I guess he already has big old chops. What else we got? So yeah, favorite of the wave, Neil. Who you got? I think for me, I'm gonna have to say Cyclops, even though I'm not 100% satisfied with him. Marcus said, yeah, I was trying to reread it, but I can't even keep track of the issues. I'm working on a lantern for Sean while I listen to you. You're motivating me at the moment. Yes, I like that. I was well, Sean was here earlier. I don't know if he still is, but we were chatting earlier. We've been chatting about wrestling figures a lot lately, so yeah, it's been funny. He's so into wrestling too. So yeah, D is local to me, and so is our buddy Sean, and we used to have a big group of us that got together and did some customizing on Monday nights. It started as 4, but then it got crazy, got into it even way bigger. It evolved. But yeah, but me and D and Sean have been talking about trying to get together and do that. So we need to do that. You know how it goes, right? Life's just it's a fucker. It's busy. Okay. Cool. Let's clean that up. Marcus says I haven't read it for the same reason. Could have used nice Nighthawk for the boots. For yeah, didn't somebody say that they saw some pieces that they could have been used for that Nighthawk for Dark Claw, right? There's like a few different pieces. I think Cheney was mentioning it on Toy Migos, maybe. Chat Migos Assemble, maybe. I can't remember. I think that's what it was. Didn't open yet. How the hell do you not have room for Cyclops' father? I just never was a huge Starjammers fan, I guess. I don't know. You know, I kind of said to myself, like, I thought Corsair looked pretty cool. I mean, the fact of the matter is I really just don't think Cyclops is that exciting as a character. There's only a few iterations of him where I'm like, I don't dislike him, but he's like Leonardo to me. He's just like there, like, because we need a leader, but I don't really get it. But yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a huge Cyclops fan, so having his father really doesn't do it for me, even if he is a cool space pirate. I like I kind of said to myself once we saw that wave and that there was that hint that Chode was coming, I said, if they redo this on the Abomination body, I will pass. But if they do a figure that looks cool and makes me want to buy it, I'll do the Starjammers. And then he came out and he was lackluster, and I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna skip on the Starjammers. So that was the deciding factor. If there would have been a reason to motivate me to buy them, I would have. But I just felt like it was not as well executed as it could have been. So it is what it is, you know. Gotta give this paint a shake. I can feel the paint getting heavier from being open. That's the problem with doing, I usually don't work on stuff for this long in one color, right? But because I'm doing 10 of these things or 9 of these things, I'm really happy with the skin tone though. I feel like this is my best of the 3 batches. 3 batches? Yeah, I guess it's 3 batches I've done. And speaking of Paul, I'll be able to reveal something next week that might or might not be Paul related. So that'll be my webpage reveal next week. So if anybody's caring, I think I'm going to be doing that on Monday, I believe. So stick around for that. If I can attach the accompanying media to it, I will. Like if I can find it on YouTube, I will. I think it'll be public by then. So cool. That looks mostly good. I mean, it's a little messy in a few spots, but it doesn't need to be perfect. Oops. D says, Marcus, it's a chore when you have to go hunt them down. They're all scattered in different comics as well. Yeah, I can't do stories like that. If they're not self-contained, I'm out. I like the reference to other things, so if I'm interested, I can go dig into it, but I don't like having to jump everywhere. I don't know if there's a compendium of Heroes Reborn, but I try to wait for those if there's a storyline I'm interested. He also says, doesn't matter. Corsair Seamen help lead the X-Men. Oh, that's a very valid point. Your point is very accurate. In that sense, it also is responsible for X Factor too. I was more of an Alex fan than I was a Scott fan, so especially in the 90s, because even though I like Cyclops' costume in the 90s, it's like the best thing about him. But I also think Havoc's costume is one of the best things about the 90s too. So and then yeah, it won't be long before I'll be able to share my my summer swap too, I think, unless my person that I'm making for isn't finished, then I'll have to hold on to it for a bit. But I don't know actually if that's going to be a problem or not. But he has been finished for a minute or two. I made quick work of it, which is always nice. But the nice thing about it was something that's been on my want to do list for a long time. So getting to actually do it has been really great. There we go. I assume sometime when we get closer to signups for Secret Santa, I'll have Wes and Draven come on. Actually, I'll probably have Draven on before that and do go over the summer swap reveals once we start moving, if he's able to. Just because it would be fun. And I'm hoping that he does a live stream to open the figure I made for him. That would be also really cool, because I want to actually see his reaction. I think he's going to fucking laugh out loud, which is not usually the reaction I want. But in this case, it 100% is. So that's a good one. Marcus says, how do you paint the insides of import style elbows and knees like SHF, Mafex, or V-Toys blanks? To be honest, man, I don't really work in imports. Anytime I've ever had to, I've had issues with paint rubbing those joints. I can't get them to work well. So the only time I did do something is when I did Jedi Deadpool. I used some Mafex parts and some Figure Arts parts, so I had to kind of intermix them. And I ended up having to dye the joints that I needed dye, like, because I wasn't going to add paint to them, and I was trying to match khaki to black, like, because Deadpool's pants were black, so like I kept the pants black and dyed the Obi-Wan pants black, and the knees. But yeah, that's the only way that I've really found. And again, because I'm not painting it, I didn't really care if the dye, like, the dye can seep through. Because, I mean, I did throw paint on it, but I didn't. It was just black paint. So like, if the black dye comes through the black paint, it's not the end of the world, kind of thing, right? So yeah. So that's the only time I've ever. And same with V Toys. Like I did that Daredevil on the V Toys body, and I dyed the whole body and all the joints red before I started. So, because I knew I wasn't going to paint detail, I was just going to paint red, right? So yeah, I don't have an answer for that, unfortunately. I've never, and it's hard because they don't work the same way as a Marvel Legends joint does, right? They're like more like engineered. It's not just like, here's a piece of plastic with a pig stuck in it. You know, there's like more moving components to make the movement smoother and more efficient. Ooh, what the fuck did I do there? Let's just clean that up as best as we can. That's a big ugly. We don't want that. So yeah, sorry, I can't really be a help to you on that one, I'm afraid. But I dye where I can, where I don't have to. It gets hard when you have to like match to specific colors and stuff, right? Like I think, you know, me and you, Marcus, have talked quite a bit about dyeing. Not about dyeing, but about dyeing action figure parts. We talk a lot about dyeing, mostly. You know, what we want to do how we go, you know, that kind of stuff, right? Cool. That looks mostly good. Thicken up the beard a little bit on this one little drop down here because looks like I could. So yeah, at this point, I'm just getting this base coat on. The dry brushing comes in and picks up that detail later. I got 4 left, and then I can do some more fun stuff. This isn't really fun. I mean, it's not fun, but it's not that fun. What else is going on? I think I kind of vaguely talked about it when Kate was on last week, but I got to hang out with J-Shot from Between Two Sentinels on Mother's Day. And it was so fun. He was in town. He was going on a cruise. And yeah, I got to hang out with him on the Sunday. He was a lot of cruises depart from Vancouver, especially Alaskan cruises, which I believe is what he did. And yeah, we got to, I picked him up and his family. I drove them out to Langley, which is about a 45-minute drive. And we went to Toy Traders, which is a store in Langley. It's a cool, very cool toy store. He posted the story on his Instagram. Definitely worth checking out. It's just a cool, it's just a really big, giant store. It has lots of cool displays and stuff, lots to look at. Your eyes could just wander for hours and hours and hours. I'm slightly desensitized because I've been, but so many times. But yeah, for new, especially people in the hobby, I could tell. And his kids were like going crazy too, so it's good. It's pretty fun. Not crazy like bad, just like loving it. It's fun, man. It was good times. I had a really good time hanging out with him. He's a really nice guy, just as nice in person as he is on his stream. And I hope that we get to do it again. So I don't know why the music just stopped. Something tells me that I just can't hear the music. So let me just check my settings here real quick. Audio, AirPods. This has been happening more and more as of late for me. Sorry, technical difficulties. Oh. I heard it for a second and then it went away. Might have to just take the earphones out. Sorry, guys. Just bear with me for 1 second. We don't want that, but maybe just change them and use the other one, maybe. Stupid technical difficulties. Let's see. Maybe it died. You just don't want to work. All right, cool. All right, well, speakers on, I suppose. Hopefully that's not creating like an echo or anything. Hey, Southtown Painthouse, what up, man? Nice to see you back on. Thank you very much. Really appreciate that. It's nice to have a break, but it's nice to see everybody again and do this again. So Marcus says, brainstorm using an NW Toys blank body for a dead shot with Marvel Legends limbs. If I end up doing it, it might annoy me to paint the body red silver. Yeah, I'm not familiar with the part, but I mean, again, I could probably walk you through it if you wanted. Like, you know me, right? What I did with Nick D's one time was I went on a live with him. We didn't go live, but like we set it up like it was live, and then we just recorded it. And like I walked through like the entire prep process. The problem is like it's time consuming. Like if you want to do it right, you know. So yeah, but like I kind of walked him through how to like prep everything. So I've kind of thought about testing that out as like a Patreon thing maybe, but it's just another thing to do, I guess, you know, which I don't love. But if you needed help, Marcus, I would help you. So just let me know. That's the thing I dislike the most, though. I hate prep. Fuck, I hate prep so much. Somebody messaged me and they were like, hey, could I pay you to like prep a figure? And I'm like, no. Like, no. That's like the worst part of the job. Like, I don't want to do the worst part and then hand it over for all the fun shit. That's not that good. Plus, even when you prep a figure, sometimes you don't know like how it's going to perform until you throw some paint on it. Like there's very many times where I throw some paint on something and then end up having to go back and do more prep because it's like wasn't enough. Like it happens a lot. Like not every project, but probably pretty damn close. So I guess I don't really need that high. Marcus says, D says to Marcus, then again, I see maxed out studio paint all his import figures with no paint rub, so it's possible. I'm just afraid to try. Yeah. Oh, wait a second. I missed a whole bunch of stuff. My bad. Wow, my computer's really being weak, eh? That's a reason. So D said that's a reason why I didn't try anything on my V toys yet. Dying figures too. I know you can pull them apart, but the joints can't really be sanded the same. Yeah, exactly. You can't like take off clearance. Like I think I did do some on the V toys, but it didn't matter because even once I put paint on it, I could still see that it was chipping away. Like you just can't make it. I mean, maybe you can, and I just don't know, right? So definitely possible. Like I said, I figured it seems so intricate to sand evenly. And then that's where this came in. So yeah, I see maxed out studio paint all his import figures, no paint rub, so it's possible. I'm just afraid to try. Yeah, me too. The thing is like I've had people who have said to me like, can you make this on a V toys or on whatever? And I'm like, it's not that I don't want to help you, believe me. The problem is I have to charge a premium for something that I don't have confidence that I'll know how the outcome will be because like I'm not familiar with working with them enough, right? And the limited exposure I've had to working with V-Toys stuff, they're pretty damn finicky. Like it's hard to eliminate that paint rub. So like I don't want to do it and take the risk. You know, it's not worth the cost to me. Like even if I charge more, it's still not worth that risk. Because if when you move it, all the paint comes off in the end when I'm done it, I can't send that out. Like I can't, you know? So yeah. So I would do all that work and ultimately not be satisfied with the product, would ultimately would mean that I'd have to figure out what to do. So that's why I don't. And to be honest, I don't want to buy more fodder. I have so much fodder, so much stuff. Like I'm trying every time I see a good deal on a figure, I'm trying to just be like, no, you don't need it. You don't need it. All right. Man, painting these is boring. 3 more. All right. Cool. Another one down. 3 more. Man, I cannot wait to show off my 2 secret figures. One's awesome and one's funny, and still mostly awesome. I like it. Hey, what's up, 78? How's it going, man? Very excited to get that dio from you. I ordered the City Ruins dio from 78 Points. It's my first. I mean, really, it's my first dio. I bought a dio piece that sits on my desk from my buddy Brazilian Custom. So technically, that's my first one. But I never intended to like use it for like toy photography. Really, it was more just to like take nicer pictures of my whip shots of customs I'm working on. But this is the first dio I've ever purchased where I like want to try to take some cool shots with it. I saw it and I was just like, I sat out on the water tower one and I regretted it because I love it. And I was like, I'm not going to sit out on this one because it's cool and it looks like it can be broken down into smaller pieces, which works for my very limited space here. So yeah, fucking A. What's up? Anybody's not checking his work out? Ah, dicks. Oh, that just kind of came mostly off. How about that? Oh God, I know. I just saying it's the thing that sucks about this is like doing the same thing over and over. It sucks because the guy I don't have a 3D printer. I don't print them myself, right? I buy them from the guy who I had designed the piece, Brainiac Studios. And what happened was there was an issue with when he put my address in, he put a wrong address in, it got sent back to him. So to like not hold me up, he was like, I'm just gonna reprint them and like send them because I don't want you to have to wait, right? So he reprinted them and sent them to me. And then when he got the other ones back, he's like, do you want to buy another 9 Carson Teva heads? And I was like, dude, I'm all fucking Teva'd out, like I'm good. I'm good. So yeah, so I maybe one day I'll do some more, but that for now I'm gonna call it good at this because I'm just I don't, it's hard too because it's like I don't want to make them too expensive, but like after buying them, the head sculpts, because again I'm not printing them, so like buying them from someone else and then like the shipping to Canada, right, and then like the shipping to everyone else, which I include in the price, like I'm only making like $15 a piece on these things. Like, it's fucking nothing, and it takes like 2 nights. So yeah, so I think next time I probably won't do another one, to be honest. This is gonna be good. I kind of gave everyone their chance, and I might have one left over at the end that I can sell off if I need to, right? But it's not going to be long before we get an official Teva figure anyways. I feel like pretty confident of that. If the helmet sells well, I'm sure it'll go. But yeah, I'll be ready. I'm ready to do more stuff. But to be honest, I have been too, so I shouldn't really say that. I'm grateful. The whole situation's been cool. I get to show off why I actually made this head sculpt to even begin with next week. So like, this Teva head sculpt was me like recouping costs basically. I mean, I didn't pay for it, but like the project that I made it for, I'm trying to make more off of it, right? So yeah, so I get to show that off next week. Pretty excited. Pretty excited. Oh, there's people. More people. The Dio Hustler. Yeah, fuck yeah. Seriously, man. And then that Turtles one looks promising too. And he said that. He's like, why don't you just take Elvin's Dio? He's not even fucking using it. That's hilarious. Elvin only buys cities now. That thing is crazy though. I haven't seen it in person. D could speak to it better. Marcus said, I gotta meticulously plan out what supplies I need to buy and if there are any deals available. Being broke is no bueno. If you're looking for a Dremel, let me know. I can very strongly recommend one that is dirt cheap. And it works well. I've had mine. It was the first Dremel I ever bought. It's cheap on Amazon Canada and even cheaper on Amazon US. So it's called a Wren. And it's good because it comes with a bunch of like bits and stuff. Which I think you already have a Dremel, I'm pretty sure. I feel like we've talked about this. But if anyone's looking, I recommend a Wren. There's like a $20 set on Amazon. It gives you a Dremel, it gives you a flex shield, like a flex shaft, which is like a little handheld bit that you can kind of like plug into and like not have to carry the whole Dremel. It's like kind of more of like a smaller, more compact piece. And it has like all the different bits you need to do what you need to do, which is great. Like I remember one time I couldn't find the proper like drill bits that I needed, the Dremel bits. So I just bought, because the Wren was so cheap, I just bought the Wren for all the bits that it came with. And then I just like gave the Wren to a friend, but like didn't give him any bits with it. I'm like, you buy your own bits, but this is, yeah. It's great. And I actually probably will do that again because still I've been Dremeling for all this time and I still use the same pieces that I did when I started. I mean, a few more new ones, but it's all in there. All right. Ooh. I'm gonna have to clean this one up a little bit. I made a few boo-boos. I need to give that paint a shake again too. I really just want to work on Punisher, so I'm trying to like get through this so I can work on Punisher. But the goal is to have this done. Oh shit. Is to have this done and Punisher by the weekend. That's the goal. I just want to be able to send this shit all out before I go to California. I'm going to Cali for a few days next week or next weekend. So yes, true. Any Black Series will have a shiny finish. True. I would say that I spray them with a matte finish, but I actually just don't really give a shit. It's fine. Once they're all under lights, I don't really notice it as much. But yeah. Yeah, they are very sweaty. It's very accurate to like living in a... Oh, I forgot that I had a drink. It's not a good drink. It's just tea. It's cold after an hour. I guess I'm not surprised. Delicious. Marcus said, you're on your next Carson Teva head. You're starting to hallucinate. The head skulls start talking to you. Trust in the force. Fuck. That would be something. That's sometimes where I'm at, though. I said, no, I got a Dremel. I'm using it more now. I just need another Black Panther and Wonder Man. Yeah, that's right. See, we talked about this. Maybe resin or silicone putty, but figures first. Good call. Yeah, baby steps, right? Like I said, if you're looking for just a couple of pieces, hit me. Hit me. If I have it, I can send it your way. Just so you don't have to buy whole figures for like some hands or like a leg or a foot or something. Like I literally have so much. So, all right. 2 more. This one and 1 more. What else is happening? Is anybody gonna go and see Flash comes out in a couple weeks, right? I might see it just for Keaton. I'm not a DC fan at all. I'm definitely not a Schneiderverse fan. Not that I know this isn't a Schneiderverse. I know that, but yeah, honestly, it's less about who made it and more about the fact that it's DC, and I just don't do DC. But I do like Batman. I do like Keaton Batman, so I might see it just for that. Because honestly, it's kind of being advertised as a Batman movie, which I'm okay with, because I think Ezra Miller's a piece of shit, and the fact that we're all going to just look past that is kind of a bummer. But I'm assuming that once the movie's out and made its money, they'll part ways with Ezra Miller. I figure they just can't do it now because it's kind of like shooting themselves in the foot. And they're like, we can't afford to take a bath in this. That's my guess. D&L and Marcus are talking. Yeah, Marcus said, I'm excited for the movie, heard a lot of good reception. Yeah, so have I. Heard some great stuff. So, and I'm good for that. I'm good for a good change of pace secret superhero movie. So, it should be interesting. Again, especially if it's, I think right now the hard thing for me with like any of the multiverse stuff, and I know this isn't exactly the same, but I know it's kind of the same. Like, I'm just kind of over it. Like, even with the MCU stuff, like, I'm just like, Guardians, we didn't have any multiverse talk really outside of the whole like Gamora thing, I guess, being from a different timeline. But like, it was so refreshing to like not fucking give a shit about it, So I just I don't feel like that like multiverse saga is like hitting home like they want it to be. So yeah, I don't know. But Guardians was fucking great. I fucking loved Guardians. I saw it twice, and I want to see it again. I really want my wife to go, because my wife enjoys the Guardians movies generally, but once she heard about all the animal stuff, like the animal kind of torture, I know it's not shown, but like implied, I guess, she was like, yeah, I'm not going to that. I was like, but hun, PETA said it's the best like moving forward for like that kind of shit. Nope, still not going. All right, I get it. So I told her when it comes out on Disney Plus, we can watch it, and I'll fast forward through or I'll like tell her to close her eyes. The thing is that stuff's important to the movie, without spoiling it, because I don't think Marcus has seen it. I can't imagine you've been safe from spoilers, though, Marcus. I feel like everyone's talking about it. You're going to see Flash? Yeah, nice, I figured. 78 says, Marcus, which Wildcat? Lady Tron is a great design. D said, seeing him use his powers effectively in the trailer got me excited. Marcus says, yeah, Ezra is the one actor they should separate from. James said he can't just fire anyone he disagrees with, which is true, but Ezra is literally problematic. Yeah, I definitely agree. There's a difference with, I don't want my COVID shot, to, hey, I'm starting a cult with children. It's like a relatively good size difference there. So I just know right now they can't do that, because like it would just ruin, like it'd be bad press, right? They can't do that right now. So Neil said Spider-Man is next week. Oh yeah, that's right. Spider-Verse is like early. Fuck, I wonder if I'm gonna have time to go to that, because I'm out. Yeah. What's the date for Spider-Verse? Next week? Next Thursday I can go. Oh. Let's should probably look into some tickets then, because I definitely am excited. I'm less excited for Spider-Verse this time around for some reason. I don't know why, because I absolutely love the first one. It might be my favorite Spider-Man movie. So yeah, I don't know why I'm not as excited, but I am. I am now that you say it. I'm like, oh, it's here finally. Maybe it's just because it's been coming for so long, and that's what she said. JSA, Marcus said to 78 points. JSA Wild Cat Daily based off Doc Shanner's art. All that Hawaiian nonsense, fighting people in IKEA's kidnapping, all the reverse slash. Spoilers surround me, but luckily my memory is horrible. I forget everything. Excellent. Then you're in luck. Quill and Rocket are brothers. I'm just kidding. D and Rocket are brothers. I mean D. D and Rocket are brothers. D just said Ezra got him excited. Marcus says, it was me, Barry. I fought the entire state of Hawaii. Yeah, I agree. It's fucking amazing. It's so well balanced. Again, taking a crazy story and making it digestible. The visuals, the animation style, the actors, all of it. It's great. It's perfect. It's so good. And the thing is crazy is like Sony can put out that masterpiece, but they can't put out any live action goodness. Like, what the fuck? It's so brutal. Is Marcus yo wedding to the Spider-Verse comment? Oh, there's a Canadian spider variant in the latest Spider-Verse clip. Oh, cool. That's awesome. Does he have like a dog sled or like a Mountie uniform, or is he saying sorry? That part I wouldn't be surprised by. I saw a spider cat and I was like, yep, hope we get a toy of that. Matchu Toy's been posting all kinds of pictures of that Spot figure, and so did somebody else. Who was it? Bill Maru was also telling me, like, dude, that Spot figure is fucking sick. Yeah, I need to find it. I know it's probably not that hard to find, but I need to find it before the movie comes out, and then everyone's like, I need it. Because I do have an Into the Spider-Verse section on my shelf. And I didn't get everything from the series. I got Spidey 2099, I got Spider-Punk, and I got Mechas or Robotic Spider-Girl or whatever it is. I kind of want to put some paint on that, to be honest, but yeah, no, we'll see. I actually want to paint even though I got rid of my MCU stuff, I ended up buying the Guardians in their new costumes. And last one. And Matchu Toy painted his with like a wash and everything, and it looks so good. And I'm just like, all right, well, I'm doing that. Just got to find some time. But yeah, looks good. Deadass had a hockey stick in the Canadian flag. Amazing. Should have a Tim Hortons too. Oh, I look like Guardian from Alpha Flight. Oh, it's less fun. It's weird. I'm like one of the few Canadians that just like, I fucking hate Alpha Flight. God. It's like, oh, Canada needs a team. Here, let's take this like list of like fucking shit ass fucking superheroes. I mean, I guess we got Wolverine out of it, but still. I know that's not always the case. I know there's lots of situations where Alpha Flight have been badass. I'm mostly just fucking around, but I'm just not an Alpha Flight fan. Never have been. I'm like, no, I'll stick to the cool version. Thank you. I'll stick with the X-Men. Thank you. But no. And they're like, oh, yeah, eh? Yeah, what's that all about, eh? This is the last one, guys. I'm pretty fucking jazzed. D says, should I grab you a spot? No, it's okay, man. If you see, I mean, nah. I'll get out eventually and get there. I haven't been out. I think, I'd mentioned you. I really haven't been hunting much, but I'll get it eventually when it goes on. The problem is it's like I don't know when I'll be out your way again. So, but I do appreciate you for asking. Thank you. If I was more worried, I mean, yeah. I was gonna go out to Coquitlam tomorrow to IKEA because I have to pick up a glass shelf for my new kind of setup here. But yeah, if I don't find one like in the next day or so, I'll hit you up and get you to grab me one, and then I'll make a point to come out and see you. So, oh, is he perfect? Ah, sure. You know what? If you see him, grab him.
because only chance I'll have is really tomorrow. So, and by that time I get a chance to go back out, I might miss it. So, especially once the movie comes out, like I said. Another one that I kind of feel like I slept on was I kept seeing a bunch of people trying to get rid of their Zero figures from that Amazon box set, the X-Men villains one, the white guy with the Zero on his face in the Doctor Strange portal. Now I wish I would have grabbed one because I was like, oh, that would be a perfect base body to do a comic version of Spot on. And I remember Chris in our group was selling one, and I was like, oh, I should have got that. Would have been good. And it's not like he was even going for much. He was going for cheap. But like you could have a white base body. It's not the, I mean, it wouldn't be the base body I would have chosen if I was going to start from scratch, but it's close enough. I probably would have done Sunflower body myself, but yeah, it's whatever. It'll work. So if I eventually find one, I'll do one, and then I'll do a bunch of cool like magnetic add-ons, like like I'll do like the fist coming out of the portal. I'll do I'll do a bunch of fun stuff with like magnets, so I can at least do something with it. So it's not just like, hey, here's this like all white figure with some polka dots. Too many matches. There's only 2 of us. Jeez, take it easy. Fuck a puck? Is that a thing? I don't know. If it's swearing, it might not be a good Canadian thing. We do like to swear, but we like to apologize. Marcus says, I'm going to take note from Jordan from Canada's book and ask, how about you create a team of Canadian superheroes? I mean, for me, I guess I know I've been saying this a lot lately, but all of my love revolves around like nostalgia right now. Like I'm just completely nostalgia driven. So it's like even finding new shit, like I don't want anything new. I like all my old stuff. I'd become an old man as I get closer to 40. One more year till I'm at 40. But I just become more and more like, nah, I don't need anything new. I'm good. Just give me what I already know. I like that. Why stray? You know? Guys, we're going to start Punisher in a minute. I'm pretty amped. I'll show you guys this cool little mace that I made for him. I found this comic book art of him. It's super stylized, and he has this like futuristic looking like mace. It's like on a metal pole with like one single row of like spikes sticking out. It's dope. And I was like, yep, I'm making that. Yeah, I'm like so loving the build on this Punisher. Like it's fucking great. Once I kind of piece it all together, I was like, yeah, this is going to be fun. But then I found out today that it's not Frank Castle, which I guess I'm not sure why I'm not surprised by that, because, Spider-Man's not Peter Parker in 2099, and neither is any of the other characters. They're not their original version, so I guess I shouldn't be surprised that it wasn't Frank Castle. But I was talking to Peggy Zero Dad today, and he was like, oh, this guy's name, he said he called him by his first name, and I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? And he's like, Punisher. I'm like, oh, fuck yeah. It's the problem with people who know. D, you're like that too. You're good. You have your comic knowledge. I know who everyone is, but I don't know a lot of the histories because I never read comics like consistently when I was growing up. Okay, I'm done. So here we go. So that's the there's a bunch of Pauls that kind of, when they're kind of like farther away, I think of like Al from Home Improvement. I don't think so, Tim. But there you go. So base coat done. We're going to step away for a minute because that was not that exciting for an hour and a half. Oh, see ya. See ya, 78. Thank you very much. Got to go to lunch, he says. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate you. Can't wait to get your dial. Woo. Oh, and he said I need Pretty Boy still. Pretty Boy's the best one in the set, man. I bought the set for Pretty Boy mostly at random, but Pretty Boy was great. Needs some paint, but yeah.
I might want to zero certain blank bodies or yeah, good. Yeah. This one's great because all you need to do is take off the circle on the face and really like you don't even have to. You can just fill it in with black and there's your spot, right? And, D said, too bad no more Sunfire Body Iceman. I saw one at Toy Traders when I was there on Sunday and it was not too expensive. I think it was like $25 loose, but depleted my stockpile. Yeah, you had a lot in your trunk. We used to make jokes about how D's trunk is like this never-ending stockpile of like parts. So the joke would be like, D, check in your trunk if you have this. Jake Gallows, that's who it was. Thank you, Punisher 2099. Jake Gallows. Did somebody say me? I really like the skin tone I got on this guy. Turned out good. Okay. Let's see. Marcus said it's unsettling to see a bunch of little heads on a tray like that. It triggers a natural fight response out of me. Yeah, I know. I get it. I understand. Marcus said it's like a little field of flowers, but sinister. Great. Yes. D said loose. Oh man, that's how much they had them on clearance back in the day. I know. I agree. It was nice when you could get them for cheap. I still have one in my stockpile that I'm kind of saving for a rainy day in case I need it for because the thing is like he's got that translucency, not really translucent, but like, you know what I mean, right? He's got that like plastic swirl that I like. So it's like, I want to hold on to it in case I need it for something with like a clear application so I can get like a cool swirly wet metallic look or something, right? So kind of have put it aside and left it in a bag for an extended amount of time to just be like, I'll use this eventually. Oh, Hera's gonna show this. This is my little mace that I made. I made it using a Shang-Chi staff that I cut down, a movie one, and I put a little handle on it. I sculpted a handle, and then I sculpted this head on it, drilled some holes, and then I put all these little knives into it. It's like a single row of 5. Pretty fun. I have to do the what's it called too, the guns, but not quite there yet. The gross taste in my mouth. Okay. D, I am also excited to see this finished. This has been a quick build though. Like, when did I start this? Usually a figure will stay on my to-do list, like on my in progress list, like working wise, from when I actually like start journaling to when I finish, for 4 to 6 weeks. And that doesn't mean it's like consistent work on just that. It could be on other stuff. But Punisher has been, I started him April 20th and it's only May 24th. So yeah, so he'll probably end up in the same. But in that time, I also finished Bane. I also finished that figure for Draven. I also finished my Secret Santa. So yeah, I had a lot on the go. So I just did a little bit of silver. I'm just starting with this toe cap that I sculpted on these boots. These are, whose boots are these? Dormammu's, I think I did. I think it was Dormammu or Red Skull, one or the other. But I'm going to say Dormammu. For the feet, anyways. The boot themselves is, I decided to keep the boot for the Vulcan body. That's the base body I used. But then I like flared them out so that way they were yeah, the boots look great. I ended up not putting any shading on the boots. I kept them like glossy black because I want to have some I don't want them to be all like, he's mostly black blue, the rest of it, like even the belt and everything. So I wanted the boots to at least be a little bit different, so I left them glossy black. So it will stand out versus the rest of it, but I think it's going to be for the best. I'm feeling pretty good about it. Okay. The silver doesn't have good coverage over black here, so
I was gonna prime that tip part, but I decided not to. That's okay. All right, so yeah, you can see here the leg and the boot. So you see, can you tell the difference from there? I guess you can a little bit, but yeah, I really like the this blue black I got on this Punisher, on the black parts of the legs and the arms and stuff, torso. It's pretty nice, very nice. Let me see. I wish I could be alive by the time 29 actually comes around, just to see what they do with Spidey. It'd be cool to see. I'm curious. You mean those characters are still going to be around, obviously, right? So probably, can't imagine. Rebranded to 3000, and then every year they start over again with Spider-Man 3001. Skip a few decades. There you go. Oh, hello, Louison. Thank you for stopping by. He says, what are you painting? Tonight I was painting. I started with these Carson Teva head sculpts. Ooh. Just for Marcusy, the little flower of heads. Flower bed of heads. And now I'm painting this Punisher 2099 custom I'm working on. So this is my P3 red. It's my favorite red. It goes on very nice. But yesterday I had to mix it all up fresh because I haven't... this is a new pot and it had been sitting for a while. So I had to run it through my little mixer, my paint mixer. But I have to be careful. I don't want to go on too heavy because I don't want it to look chalky. So this one, I'm going to have to... water down because I don't want it to go on too heavy. This is a fresh pot. Like I was doing with the gray one before it, I didn't really have to water it down because I've used it so much for paint airbrushing that it's pretty watery after putting back leftovers after all these years. So there's certain colors that I go through very quickly. Gray apparently is not one of them because I'm pretty sure that charcoal gray I was using is from like the first year I was customizing, when I first started buying good paints. And what I'm going to do after this coat dries is I'm going to put on a brown wash to contrast with the red and really like make those details pop. And then I'm going to go in with like a slightly lighter red and dry brush on top of it. Just ever slightly lighter. I don't want it to look too... I want the contrast to be there between the red and the black blue. I really want to make sure it's like strikingly different, right? I don't want to tone down the red too much, but I do want to like at least get in like the details on these kneecap sculpts, the details on the holsters, the details on the armband, and on the shoulder pads there's sculpted details. So I want to make sure that those really come alive. And when the paint is really bright like this red is, some of those details get lost because you're like blinded by its brightness. But not today. There we go. You might notice I had to put a screw into this foot. I accidentally ripped the peg off while I was dismantling it the first time. Ooh, I noticed a spot that I missed when I was doing this. See, I noticed right down there. Oops. Right down there. Okay, you don't want to apply it too heavy, but I also want to make sure that I get it, because even though you won't notice it from above, it is noticeable when you pick it up. Okay, cool. Good. Oh, shit. Let's put that back on. Oh, a box of cannons is here too. What's up, man?
That's another person that came over from Collector Express's show from Saturday. Another familiar face. Thanks for being here. Marcus, all those decapitated flyers saying, paint us, Matthew, paint us. Why won't you paint us?
I'm fucking trying to. There's 9 of you. There's 8 too many. No, I'm just kidding. I play it off like I hate it. Honestly, I don't. It's good practice for me. I'm getting to the point where like I feel pretty good about my skin tones. Like I'm starting to like really get comfortable with what makes a skin tone look good. So I'm happy. But yeah, there's still a lot. Like eyes, I still feel like some days are better than others. Like I want to get to the point where like I'm consistently just like I paint eyes with one shot and it's good, and then like I'm good. I'm not there. Sometimes I do. Like I've had lots of times where like I do eyes in like one shot and it's fucking done and it like is actually good. I've been doing that more and more as of late, but I still have ones where like I'll do the same face like 7 times and I'm like, fuck off. I mean, not redoing it, but like having to constantly tweak it. Like, you know, I go over the black outline with white when I fill in the eye or whatever, right? Like, yeah. So I'm trying to make it more consistently where I'm just like, okay, I did it. It's good. So this is good. This is good practice, and it's good practice because like the sculpt I find is pretty easy to paint. Like, the definition in the sculpt is really good, so it's very clearly outlined of like what I need to paint, and yeah, it's good. I like it. It's a good sculpt. That's what I'm trying to say, I guess. And like I said, I'll be able to share with everybody this. I'll be posting it on Monday next week. The reason why I even made this head sculpt to begin with. So it wasn't because of Carson Teva heads, believe it or not. It was for another project that was very fun. And yeah. Cool. Let's give it a quick cleanup. Emotional damage. I wish I had a soundboard. Oh, thanks, man. Box Cannon said, just dropping in to lend some support. You get some great results. Your handwork definitely shows. Oh, hard work definitely shows. Thank you very much. That's very, very, very kind of you. I appreciate that. So easy to be down on ourselves, you know? Like, I mean, I won't lie. Usually, I'm pretty down on myself. I haven't been down on myself with my later projects. These more recent ones, I wish I was better. I wish I was this good at picking projects all the time. Like everything on my plate right now is stuff that I'm having fun with. So like I am just loving this Punisher. I absolutely love my 2 secret figures that I just put together that I can't share yet. But like I'm just so in love with both of them. And I'm really happy with how Bane turned out. So yeah, like I'm just in this like really good place right now with my work, anyways, not in everything, but in my work at the very least, which is lovely because I'm not that way usually. I'm usually pretty hard on myself. I mean, I'll still say like, oh, I'm having fun, blah blah blah, but not always. I try to just like portray what I want it to be, you know. So thanks. Very kind of you. Before I do those shoulder pads, I'm going to quickly do this armband. Yeah, so this red is awesome. I love this red. It took me a while to be able to find the restock on it because it's really hard to find this brand of paint in Canada. It's called P3. I found one site that carries it. That's Canadian. The problem is you can't ship paint from the US to Canada. It'll get stopped at the border. So, or like, sorry, that might be wrong. But like I think it has to be I think it has to be approved to be coming to Canada. That's what I'm trying to say. So like I bought this from a Canadian store. So within Canada, it's cool. They can send it to me, but every time I find it online, I can't get it in Canada. They won't ship it. So it took me a while to get this one back in stock, because the site that I do go to doesn't always have all the colors available. It's like they get restocks in pieces, kind of, you know? Oh, I see a big underside again on this that I missed. Oh, shit. I have to clean up a few spots on where the silver went onto the black, too. Made a little bit of a mess. Oh, yeah, I missed a whole bunch here. What a fucking slop show. I really like this flat edge thick brush for these edges here. You can get it kind of like watery, and then you just kind of put it near it, and it kind of like fills in. You don't have to, kind of like does some of the work for you. Nice. There's a whole bunch of spots I missed. I think it's because I did this last. I forgot that I had to do the band on the one arm. And then I had already kind of like done a couple layers, so I was trying to catch up on the other colors, on the other parts. So I think that's what happened. If my memory serves me, I just didn't look close enough at it. But it is still a bit sloppy. It's going to need some work. But that's okay. Maybe I'll quickly do the weapons just to change it up a little bit. Still got about 20 minutes before I stop here. Let's just open this drink. I agree, dude. Box cannons, so that's the best kind of work, when it's just you doing your craft and everything flows. Hells yeah. This project, this Punisher in particular, is like the definition of everything flows. Like, even when I started, I was like, hey, how the fuck am I going to do this like crazy jacket fucking shoulder pad combo? And I just like started digging through my parts and like found a White Ranger shield. I cut off the shoulder armor and stuck it in, and then I hid it underneath this collar that I cut off of an X-Man jacket, and then like it just looked great, and I was like, fuck yeah, this is perfect. So yeah, it's every step of it has been like seamless. It's been like, just again, it just kind of like is naturally just happening, like without me doing anything, and it's great. I mean, I'm doing stuff obviously, but you know, it doesn't feel like it. It doesn't feel like I'm having to like scratch my head and be like, okay, how the fuck do I approach this? So I did, before I started doing all the red parts, I did prime them all, but I primed it with a brush instead. I usually use my airbrush and mask everything, but I lately have been having issues with, I haven't been trusting my masking. So I usually have been doing like I've been doing like my base coat and then painting everything else, because I've been having masking tape ripping off paint consistently, like the last like 4 projects. And I'm just like at the point, I thought I had it figured out, and then the last time it happened again, and I'm like, hey, what the fuck? None of the stuff that was an issue before was present on this, so what the fuck's going on? I've been using the same tape, the same primer for like, you know, literally 6 years, 5 years. And now all of a sudden it's just like, yeah, it's fucking weird. It's annoying. So yeah, so I'm at this point right now where like I'm just not trusting it. Like I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do a base coat and then I'll hand paint the other parts. And like I didn't necessarily, like for the silver gauntlets and the mace, the silver gauntlets I taped off and it was fine. But I'm just like, I'm being more selective now, because I'm like, and like sometimes with certain things, like you know, for this to mask this to not get red on all my black, I would have ended up doing tons of touch-ups, because like it would have bled, because it's rounded. So it just, yeah, long story short, I would have ended up having to really touch it up. So you know what, it's not worth it. I'm just gonna do it with a brush. The quality won't be affected, maybe just very, very slightly, but it's minimal. I'm at the point where I'm still pretty good with a brush, even if, you know, it's not as clean as it would be if it was with an airbrush, but it's still pretty much there. So But yeah, this thing needs a wash for sure, like a nice dark wash in the. I find black on red is a bit too brash. It's very bold and it, demands attention, which I don't love. So Craig Warwick taught me to do brown instead on red. So you do brown wash, kind of flows with the red a bit better. Doesn't look so jarring. There we go. But yeah, I'm really loving how this is looking. Like oh shit, sorry. Let's see if I can get it to focus better so you can kind of see. Maybe you can see some of the blue. Yeah, I'm loving it. Very happy. But that skull, yeah, that's going to be a whole other bag of worms. I'm not sure how I'm going to be into that. Okay, did one coat. Let's just have some fun and do something different. Let's do a couple of these guns just to change it up. I don't want to do the face because I'm already doing faces over here, and yeah, I can wait. Let's do these guns. Let's shift up. Let's close the night out with something different. Okay, so I have all these guns that need to get done. I'm going to take them off these hooks for now because I'm just going to use that when I clear coat them. So these guns all started as, all of them except two, all started as like black base guns, which I try to do because whenever, again, fitting guns into the hands of action trigger finger hands, like you can damage the paint. So I try my best to. So Punisher's trigger hands, I actually dyed black, so that way I could make sure that if there's any rub, it's not noticeable. These two guns here, I tried to dye them black, but I couldn't. They wouldn't take for some reason. So they're like gold underneath that, which I don't love, but whatever, should be fine. And then I got the big guy, the little guy, and this cool like revolver kind of thing, but instead of having a barrel, it's got some sculpted detail instead. My buddy Charlie did those for me. Aspiring grown up. He's here still. Oh, D, thanks for being here, man. Really appreciate you as always. Have to eat dinner. Late dinner. I'll watch the rest later. Glad you're back. Thank you, man. Really appreciate you. We need to connect soon. So yeah, so what I'm going to do with this is what I usually do with guns is I start by giving, if they're black, base black, I start by giving them a relatively heavy dry brush using like an older brush. I do something that's got a bit tougher bristles. If you use a dry brush, which I do like, it softens the edges on everything. So like, I don't find it's good for this sort of thing because I want something to look a bit worn in. So I'm going to take, I like this color for, no, sorry, this is the wrong one. This is the one. So to go over black, if I'm going to try to keep the guns looking black, this is what I do. I take this P3 boiler black. It's kind of like a chromed out, like dark gunmetal gray. And I just dry brush everything, but I try to make sure that the thing I'm dry brushing onto, in this case, like this paper towel here, I want to dry brush onto a dry paper towel because, again, when you dry brush onto a wet paper towel, it kind of does what the dry brush does, which is like softens out your scratchy dry brush and like kind of makes it look like it's more like I want something that like has clearly defined. Like here, you'll be able to see this for sure. Okay, oops. And again, because this is going on so lightly, you could pretty much handle it like as you do it, like, and it's not gonna it's gonna stay where you put it. It's not gonna come off in your hands. I mean, it will maybe a little bit, but that's the best thing about this. So what I usually do with these is, because they're black, I'm gonna give them like a nice heavy dry brushing using this gunmetal gray. And then I'll hold it up side by side next to something that doesn't have any dry brush, so you can kind of see how much of a difference it makes. But it really like brings out all your details in the sculpt. And again, Marvel Legends, they're great at sculpting details, but we just don't get the paint. So this is kind of a way to like rectify that. So here you go. You can definitely see what I've done there, I think. Maybe not as well as I can see it in person, but maybe you can't see it as well as I thought you could. Definitely thought you'd be able to see it better, but it's very prominent in person. There you go. But yeah, so I'm going to do that with all of these to give us like a base. And then I will, I'll go in and like detail specific parts. So like, you know, maybe I'll paint a part on it with like gold or like chrome or copper or something, like just to, you know, get a few, get some excitement in it, right? Bring a little bit of life into the sculpt. This one here has got lots of different sculpted bits that I feel like I can add colors to that can be pretty fun. And again, you can add a color, and then once you add a color, you can do a wash and it completely changes the look of it again. Like it just adds a lot of layering to it, weathering to it. So, you know, I'll probably do that like brown, like to make it look kind of like leather almost. Right. I'll still leave all the handles black so that way when they go into the hands, like I don't have to worry about I don't have to worry about like paint rub. That was close. I almost went for a swim. And again, if you go too heavy on this, you can just go backwards. You can just dry brush with the black where you went too heavy and like basically like even it out or thin it out a bit. Like there's a few spots on here that look like I maybe went a bit too heavy. But here, like I kind of do, maybe I'll do that like red, right? Maybe do this part chrome or something, I don't know. Basically anywhere where like the handle isn't, I can do more to it. So there's another one. Do these little tiny guys. These little tiny guys will probably just get this dry brush and that's it. I probably won't go crazy here. Don't really see a huge point. They're going to mostly be holstered. So I shouldn't say that. I don't know what Nick's going to do with them. But he's got more exciting guns. And a cool mace. So, you know. There you go. Mostly fun. Let's get another good goop here. I'm running out of juice. And again, this is where those like shitty old brushes kind of come in handy. Like you kind of get them to the point where you can't really rely on them for like any fine detailing because like you got all these frayed edges and stuff. It's like the perfect brush for a dry brushing. Especially for something like this where, like I said, you want more defined paint strokes. The crazier your bristles, the crazier the brush strokes are, right? So it's pretty good. And again, I'll probably do some detailing on this gun, like on the sculpted parts that I did. I basically just shaved off the barrel part, like where the bullets would go, so it doesn't look, it still has that definition of like the old timey, and I cut off the like trigger part at the back because I wanted it to look like, again, the same picture that I have that mace picture, like that mace on. He has like this like long barreled like futuristic kind of gun, so I'm going to do some detail work on this to make that happen. But yeah, there we go. So those are all nice, and you might be able to notice it more on this white. As you can see, they're pretty dry brushed. So, oh, what up, Sean? I was actually just saying, oh, there you go, wrong account. So yeah, so Sean's going to be on a live stream here end of the month. When is it? It's I think we decided on June 21st. So that might change, like if something comes up in his life and can't make it, but that's the tentative date. So for anybody who isn't, go check out his channel. He does unboxing videos and reviews and that sort of stuff. So yeah, we're gonna just shoot the shit. I mean, again, it's somebody who I know personally. You know, I mean, we used to work together, so you know, we have history. It's always fun just chatting with friends who are like-minded. So I'm very easy to tell I like toys because at my work, when you walk into my office, there's like that basically. So yeah. Okay, we're good. What else do I have to do? I can start doing the white, but I think I'm going to wait. I want to wait until I get the red finished completely. Let's do that brown wash. Let me see what I got here. All right. Brown wash. So I'm just going to put some on this little baggie here. And again, I'm not going to go over all of it. I'm just going to go over like parts where there's detail. So for example, there's no strap, like there's no detail on the straps on the legs. So I'm not going to put a wash on it. But I am going to put a wash on like the indent parts on like the holster. And I am going to do, so yeah, so you'll see here, right? So, and again, you can kind of go heavy on this because like I'm going to do a pretty good dry brush application here. And this is just because there's sculpted detail on these holsters. So yeah. And then when that dries, it'll give me a nice contrasting finish for the detail part anyway. And then I can go in with my dry brush and just hit all the raised parts and basically just enhance like the shadow in the natural, like the sculpt. So it'll look great. So yeah, so that's what you're kind of looking like. You can definitely see from there the different colors. But I don't want to just do that because then you see brush strokes and shit on your like on the like non-detailed parts. So like that whole leg band and you know, even this part, like I'm gonna just do that and just wipe that off and just I did it just in the kind of teeth part of the skull. And then I'm also gonna do it on the inside of this detail here just to draw a little bit of attention to it. I'm not going super heavy. I don't want it to be insanely prominent, but just enough to like be there. And again, draw out that detail, right? Once I put a dry brush on that, it's gonna look great. I'm gonna just let that sit this way just in case it's kind of pooling a little bit in the corner and I don't want it to drip. So yeah, so we'll do this again. And then, yeah, we'll do a dry brush. Like I said, other than for Punisher, the only thing that's left is like his face, his hair, I guess the head, like the base paint job is there, but I have to still do like the face and the hair and all that shit, right? So, and what else? I have the white skull to do, which I'm not looking forward to because that's painted, hand painted over black. But in fairness, the white that I use, I went over the Bane mask, which was all the same color, black with like blue highlight. And I had no problems with that white. I got it nice and clean. It looked smooth. So yeah, so maybe I'm just worrying because like in theory, black over white to get look smooth is not always easy, especially with a brush. But I just did it, so I need to like not worry about it because I just had success. So remember, once this dries, I will do my dry brush. Again, I might still do that while I'm here. I'm still working along and then I'm enjoying myself. So cool. Yeah, this is a little bit more messy though. Let's see if I can clean that up a little bit. I mean, it'll come out in the dry brush, but still, there we go. Still a little messy though. Cool. There we go. Oh, really? That sucks, dude. Boxacan said our local Toys R Us closed. It was a sad day. Where are you located? Are you in Ontario? Are you Toronto area, GTA area? I heard they're opening another like 12 Toys R Us's in Canada this year, next year.
Yeah, even just in our area. So Figurama and I live in the same area. We have one in Coquitlam, one in Langley, one in Vancouver downtown. We have one in Richmond. We have one in two in Surrey, one in Surrey. Kansas. You're in Kansas, but you have a local Toys R Us? Oh, sorry. Our local Toys R Us closed. I see. I misread. I assumed you meant like today. But I think you're saying that when it closed, it was a sad day. I'm getting it now. My apologies. Let's paint some more on these guns. Oh, I still have to do the shoulder pads. Yeah, I understand. When I got to hang out with Jay Shot last week, after I brought him to this cool toy store called Toy Traders, I brought him to Toys R Us because like he had his kids with him, and he's like, my daughter got to experience Toys R Us because she was young enough. She was born when it was still open, but my son never did. And I said, well, now he will because we have them here still. So yeah, he got to bring his son and he was super happy about it, which is great. I'm happy I can help with something like that. That's a cool thing. It's a cool memory because I know for me, my childhood, my memories of Toys R Us are like some of my favorites. Like I was saying to Jay Shot while we were walking through, it's like, remember, like you walk in and like because you were so small, you just looked up and it just seemed like the toys went for fucking ever. It was such a cool experience. I remember buying all of my 5-inch Marvel figures from Toy Biz. I remember buying my wrestling figures. I remember buying my Star Wars Power of the Force figures. I mean, I've talked about this with other people that I've been on shows with, but like, just the days of like walking into a Toys R Us and like seeing a new figure and then getting to look on the back of the box and see what else was in that wave. It's like that was like your first encounter. It's like pre-internet days, right? Where like you could see I remember like one series of Toy Biz figures I saw and a Genesis, and in the same line as Genesis there was like this new Deadpool figure and it was like updated from the first one, removable mask, and I was like, oh man, I need that Deadpool, but I never found him. But that was the only way I knew about it was from the back of the box. Those were the good old days. Those were the good old days. So yeah, I'm really loving how this looks. I'm really liking this. This wash is doing a lot to like add detail, which is great. Yeah, I can't wait to add another little dry brush to it to get a bit more pop here. Because unfortunately the wash does kind of bring down the brightness a bit, right? You can see last piece. It's truly a different world now. Yeah, man. It is very different experience. I'm glad they're going back to window boxes because even though I didn't make decisions based on window boxes, opening a toy that I couldn't see felt very different to me. Enough that it took me out of it. Figurama said that's why I loved G.I. Joes when I was little, seeing the whole series on the back and hoping to find your favorite ones. Yeah, man, me too. It was great. That was the coolest thing about the backs of the boxes back then. Was like you got to see everything that was coming, everything that was in the current wave or the last wave, and that's how you like get educated on like what was coming and what's out there. It was very fun. The pre-internet days. All right, got this one line in the middle here. Nice. Uh-oh, I hear my dog.
Okay, there we go. All right, who's still here? Is everyone still hanging out? Want me to keep going? I'm past the 2-hour mark now. Let me see. Box of Cannon said, I agree. I remember spending hours looking at the boxes over and getting excited about what was coming out. When I was a kid, I used to save the boxes. So, like, I would just keep the card backs. I had a big pile of them. And then I would, like, circle with a Sharpie, like, the ones I wanted. And then when I got them, I would, like, scratch them off. It was fun. The good old days. And it's hard because you get the ones where, like, it would get shown, but, like a production piece would never come out of it, so you're like constantly looking, not knowing that you're looking for something that you're never gonna find. Like, oh man. Okay, before I have to step away for a quick second, but I will be right back. I just have to put my dog back to bed so my wife doesn't have to. So I'll be right back. Right. Go for just a tad longer. Okay, I'm gonna do one more coat of silver on those toes there, the boots. I'm gonna try to thin it out a bit. No, I shouldn't, because it's not going on thick. It's just not coating that black. Thought using a bigger brush would help, but it didn't last time, so. All right. So yeah, I've been watching a lot of South Park lately. I know I said that up top, but fuck, man. I have forgotten so many of those episodes, and there's just so fucking many good ones. Like, I don't know how I'm going to pick 5. I'm going to pick 10 because I know me and Ryan have similar taste when it comes to South Park. So I feel like we're going to have a lot of stuff the same on our lists. We both picked 10, so that way, in worst case scenario, even if we both picked each other's entire list, we'd have a backup. So, but it's just like, I don't even know where to start. Like, Scott Tenorman Must Die. That's season 5. In my opinion, season 5 is where the show really became what it became like what it got really popular for, I feel like. It's like just on the edge of social commentary. Once it got into full social commentary, I didn't enjoy it as much, but like the silliness of it, right? Like, Scott Tenorman Must Die is the one where Cartman has a school bully who sells him his pubes, and instead of giving him his money back, he just keeps torturing Cartman. So Cartman, in retaliation, like, gets his family killed, and he like cuts them up and feeds them into chili at his Chili Con Carnival festival in front of his favorite band Radiohead, who sees him crying, and then they call him a little baby. It's fucking amazing. It's like so fucked up, but it's really funny. Okay, let's see. Do I want to do metallics for the guns, or do I want to do bright colors? I think bright colors. And then I'll dry brush with metallics and put a wash on it so it's dirty. So for the reds, I think I'm going to do this canister thing here. I think I'm going to do, I don't know, maybe some of the details. I might do some of the details with this cool, I got this new like coppery bronze kind of color that I just love. I use it on the belt, so I think I'm going to use it on here as well. And then So yeah, so I'll do the red, and then I'll do a dry brush with that red. Or I could do a dry brush with like a bright silver and like really kind of, I don't know, we'll see. And then I should do something with like this gold, because this gold's really cool too. Oh, but so is this cool, like, this is a cool copper too. The copper might look pink though. Let's not do that. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. All right. Let's start with this. So we'll start with the red, since I think it's going to need a couple coats. And then from that red, I'll do some silver in the red as well, like I'll do. And then there's like this line in the middle. In that line, I think I'll do silver. I think it's meant to be like a flamethrower maybe or something. I don't know. I'm not very good with guns. I just know when I see a big cool looking one, I'm like, oh, that looks cool. I like futuristic looking guns. Nice. Let me just put that over here for a minute, just to keep it off the ground. Nope. No, I'm not. Let me see. What can I put this on? This will work. There we go. That's a good idea. So yeah, just that one spot. I think I'm going to do some detailing with this on one. I'm going to just do a little bit of different on all of them, I think. They're only minor, and by the time I throw weathering on it, they're not going to really stand out that much. I will do gold on this one. I'll do just a little spot here. Cool, cool, cool. And again, just enough to look a little bit different. This side's a bit more detailed. And then what I'll do is I'm making kind of a slop on it here. So what I'll do is I'll do it, and then I'll touch up the frame afterwards. Again, that can go there, so it's not resting right on the paint. That gold doesn't go on very nicely, so I'm going to move away from it. Yeah, I saw the NECA set. Yeah, let's talk about that. We haven't done that. We'll talk about it in 1 second, actually. Box Cannon said, I haven't watched South Park in ages. Always a trip. Thanks for sharing your work. It's 1 a.m. here. I'm going to read a chapter in my book and crash soon. Dresden Files series, great read. Awesome, man. Thank you very much. Enjoy your Dresden Files. Appreciate you stopping by and saying hello. And yeah, thank you. Thanks again. Thanks for swinging by. Have a good night. Have a good rest. Figurama. Let's talk about turtles. So we got reveals this week for, or teases this week for Secret of the Ooze Turtles as one of the NECA STCC exclusives. Cool. I think I'm passing on it. I say that now, and I'll wait till I see how they look, but I feel pretty confident I'm passing on them. I don't have attachment to those movies, and I particularly don't remember them being good. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. What about you? Are you gonna get them? I think the problem is like, I love NECA movie turtles. I feel like it's going to be super hard to say no once I see them, because I feel like they are going to do a good job with them. So, but I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm going to try to hold my ground, because I don't really need them, and like I really don't like that movie. And the thing is like, it's not even like I have a massive attachment to samurais, so having turtles and samurai suits I don't know. I don't know if I feel compelled to need them. I am pretty good at saying no to like those types of exclusives. Like, remember when we got those out of their shell packs that one year where it was like all of the musical tour figures. Even though I liked that and watched that VHS until it fucking broke, I didn't feel compelled to buy it. So I'm hoping that I can stay strong enough that I'm good. But we'll see, I suppose. What about you? What's everybody else saying about those? I as for Kino, I spoke to Trevor. I spoke to Trevor the day they got revealed from NECA, and I just was like, dude, are we gonna have to buy all that SDCC stuff with Kino, or is he gonna come in a separate release? And he said you'll have another opportunity. He said next month you'll have an opportunity to buy them. So I think the pizza box one is more just for exclusivity. Like if you want, it's kind of more like a loot crate style thing where you're going to be able to get like all those little extras. So I'm good on that. I'm good on the extras. I just want Kino. I mean, honestly, if I could just get Kino without the scooter, I would do that. But if I have to buy the scooter to get Kino, I'll accept that it is what it is. So yeah. But in a perfect world, if I didn't have to buy the scooter, I wouldn't buy the scooter. I just want Kino. So, but if that's what I have to do to get it, then I'm willing to play ball. I'm fine with that. So, last gun, and I'm gonna call it the night after this, guys. I mean, I'm gonna keep working, but I'm not gonna do it live. Mm-hmm. Oh, I see Secret Santa stuff coming in, or Secret Santa, Secret Summer Swap. I don't actually see pictures, but like I can see the notifications coming in, and we're getting close to deadline, right? So I think next week is deadline, Monday, Tuesday or Wednesday? Oh, Thursday, June 1st. And then shipping deadline is June 8th. So starting to have people send emails, but I don't I manage the account, like I have access to it, but I only manage it for Secret Santa. So Draven does all the work on it on Summer Swap. So because I'm on the account, I get notifications. But yes, I've been seeing a lot of stuff coming in, people finishing up. I can't wait. I don't have any. So last year with Summer Swap, I didn't know who I was getting. That's the cool thing about Draven running it, is like the part that sucks about running it myself at Christmas is I miss out on the surprise piece of getting something I don't know about, because like I'm behind the scenes. So I see the progress. I see I know who has me. I know who I have. But with Summer Swap, because I don't have to be involved, I don't actually know any of that. So like I don't know whose list I have. I don't know who has me for a list. And it's nice because it's an opportunity for me to like still maintain that level of the part that I miss about running Summer Swap or Secret Santa, is that I don't have the secret part anymore, right? It's fun getting to see stuff get revealed and everyone being excited together when something's really cool. And but I mean, I guess the cool thing about that is being able to prepare for, like, I see something and I'm like, oh my god, that's going to be fucking a hit. So that part's cool. But yes, that Summer Swap or Secret Santa will be here before we fucking know it. Like, and it'll be here sooner than later. So we shall see what happens there. But I'm excited to see what we get for Summer Swap. I feel like there's going to be a lot of good shit this year, which is lovely. I'm going to do another piece on here. I don't want to overdo the guns. Like, I don't want to like go too crazy, I think this is shot. I'm pretty sure this paint is dead. Yeah, it's been dead for a long time. Just going to throw that out. Place this. Let me see here. What is everybody saying? Figure on this is Ernie Rays 2.
Still need to get Secret of the Ooze Turtles, so I got to get those first. Yeah, I only did Secret of the Ooze Turtles because they were up at the same time the Shredder was, the Secret of the Ooze Shredder, which I wanted. And because it cost the same for shipping, whether I had just Shredder or both Shredder and the Turtles, I ended up buying the Turtles too. That was my logic. Because I was like, oh, well, I'll have a set for the office. So that way I have my main Turtles at home, and then I put my Secret of the Ooze Turtles at work. And then, yeah, they're really nice. I have more attachment to the first movie ones, obviously, but they're really nice. They're really nice. The upgrades are nice. There's minor upgrades. The brighter colors are nice. Just a change from the other ones. It's kind of nice to have. So yeah, I quite dig them. They're pretty cool. I'm happy I bought them. I thought I was gonna regret buying them, but I didn't. I don't at all. They're quite good. Well done figures. To be honest, like the first NECA figures are like some of my absolute favorite figures, right? So it's not surprising to me that when they do a minor upgrade on them, I'm like, oh man, these are sick. Because yeah, that's about me, right? So just got to do the little detailed spots here. Little detail. There we go. And I do want to do this one part silver because I think it would look cool. So I'm gonna do a lighter silver. I think I'm gonna do. I like this one, but I think maybe I'll do this one. Is that gonna be too dark? Let's see. Metallics are tricky because when they go over like dark colors, they don't look the same. So I want to see how this looks. So I want to do this one part here. Yeah, see, I don't want it to look the same. That's the problem. I don't want it to look, I want it to be noticeably lighter. So I need like a light silver. This Stormbreaker, Stormpost silver is nice from Citadel, but I think I've watered it down too much. Oh, what up, Gary? Peggy Zero Dad. Gary says good morning. He's in Scotland, so he's not drunk. It's actually his good morning. Said looking forward to catching up on this with this later. Thanks, dude. Appreciate you as always. Have a good sleep. Self-control 101. Marcus says I personally don't do NECA. And Figurama said my wallet is my only self-control. Said, oh, nice, found an open box Shadow Master Soda Shredder at Toy Trader, so I got that off the list. Oh, nice. I do like the Super Shredder for sure. Like, he's pretty sharp. He's a nice figure, and he is fun to pose. He's very expressive. So I do dig him. But yeah. Oh, shit. Okay. Yeah, this is better. This is what I'm looking for. And again, there's some detail in here that's sculpted that I want to maintain. So I'm going to paint this, and then I'm going to put a wash on it. So I'm not super concerned about if it fills in the detail right now, because I'll just put a black wash on it later and bring it back to life. No big deal. But yeah, I like to be able to add a little bit of life to my weapons because, first of all, these are space lasers. These are laser weapons, so it's nice to do something a little different. Trying to not handle it and smear the paint. Because I do feel like, what's it called? Metallics show fingerprints a lot easier. All right. Good stuff. Good stuff. Sorry, I don't think you guys can see. Try to make sure I'm actually on the camera.
I'm super excited to go to California again. I haven't been in so long. It should be very fun. Unfortunately, it's a work trip, so it's not like I get to just cruise around. But like I said earlier, we are talking about maybe one night going to Disney. So I hope that sticks, because that would be very fun. I really want to build a lightsaber. I know it's expensive, but I really want to. Okay. That's good enough for now. Oh, I was going to do one little spot on that other gun like that too. Let's just get that back out here. And then I'll call it a night. 222, yeah. Yeah, we'll call it a night. I got to do one more little detail on this guy. Oh, shit. And then again, I'll throw some wash on it and bring it to life. There we go. And again, I'm just doing some minor details. Nothing crazy here. But just enough to, again, add a little bit to the cool. There we go. All right. Done. Do I want to keep going? Like I could do that part too? No, I don't want to do that. Let's just leave it. Let's leave it. Let's call it a night. Got a lot done. I got a whole round on the beards. I got, all I have to do is dry brush that Punisher. Be good. Okay. Let's see if I can look at this camera enough to be like, let's look here. Okay, guys. So thank you guys very much for being here. Again, if you haven't, please hit that like button. Helps. If you haven't subscribed, please do that as well. I will be back next Wednesday. I have one more week in me before I have to take another week off. I will most likely be painting. Most likely. Actually, no, wait. By that time, Punisher will be done. The paw heads will be done. I will be working on Matchu, my Matchu figure, my custom of me. I am. So yes, I'll be working on that probably next week, or that my red skull for Peggy's Zero Dad. So that's most likely what's on deck for next Wednesday. But I'll let you guys know once we get earlier in the week. So thank you guys again very much for being here. Appreciate all of you guys, the regulars who are here chatting. You guys are the best. Missed you guys, so it's been fun to be back and doing this again with you. So thank you guys all. Have a great night, have a good week, and we will see you soon. Peace.